The film starts by showing a prison. Its system is very mysterious, and its building comprises almost 100 floors. Then the kitchen of this prison is also viewed, where many chefs are making a variety of tasty foods. It was the good point of this prison. Let me tell you how good this is. Now, the prisoners lived on each floor according to their punishment, and the food was served to them on a platform. The serving of that food started from the top floor and gradually moved down. The prisoners on each floor had only 2 minutes to eat the food. Let's talk about the 2 prisoners who are the major characters of this movie. They are imprisoned in cell number 48. Their names are Trimagesi and Goreng. The platform of food has been set, and it had reached their floor 48 while descending. Trimagesi says to Goreng, "Eat as much as you can." When Goreng glimpses the platform of food, he feels awkward because the food has been scattered. The prisoners on the upper floors had attacked the food. So Goreng only takes an apple, while Trimagesi takes much more food. As the platform of food descends, their cell temperature begins to increase. In fact, Trimagesi had preserved some food from the platform while eating, which was against the law and orders. Their cell was heated in order to punish them. Now, this temperature may not be moderated until they return the food or die. It is seen that Goreng is totally different from the other prisoners because he is not a criminal but an educated person. He came to the prison voluntarily to get rid of his smoking addiction. Otherwise, he had also brought a book with him. He had to get a certificate in return. The next day, the same thing happens. The platform moves to their floor. Trimagesi fills his stomach soundly, but Goreng does not get up from his place because he was not used to eating leftover food. Trimagesi asks him, "What is the issue with you? Why do you not take food?" "Just ask the ground floor prisoners what they face when they don't get any. I also spent a month like this, and my condition worsened." Goreng also disliked that the upper floor prisoners didn't leave any food for the bottom floor prisoners. So, he attempts to contact the upper floor prisoners, saying, "Kindly eat less and also care about the prisoners on the bottom floors." But the upper floor prisoners were very rude and ignored his request. The bottom floor prisoners often died from not getting food. Then they learn that a prisoner has committed suicide. Trimagesi informs Goreng that this is a regular occurrence. He tells him that his former cellmate had died, and when Trimagesi didn't get food, he ate him to survive. The time for food delivery approaches as they are talking, and the platform begins to move upward. But a girl is also seated on it. Goreng asks her, "What happened? Do you need any help?" Trimagesi advises him, "Leave her. It is her routine. She does the same thing every month. Actually, her child has died, and she peeps into each floor to search for him. She also does not allow anyone to live in her cell because she wanted to have her child." As the platform descends with the girl seated on it, the prisoners of cell 49 begin to harass her. The girl, Maharu, kills the 2 prisoners and sits back on the platform. In this way, time continues to pass, and a month has gone by since Goreng came to the prison. Trimagesi and Goreng have become close friends. Sometimes, it happened that the platform moved upward quickly, so the upper floor prisoners satisfied their hunger, leaving the bottom floor prisoners hungry when the platform descended. Once the platform started to move from the bottom to the upper floors, and there was no food left by the time it reached the upper floors, so the upper floor prisoners either died of starvation or committed suicide. One day, while Trimagesi and Goreng are sleeping, they realize that a gas has spread everywhere to knock them out. This occurs when there is a need to change their cell. Now, they hope that their cell may be selected in the middle of the building because the prisoners in the middle cells had an advantage. They could get a little food whether the platform descended or ascended. Sometimes the bottom floor prisoners were at risk, and sometimes the upper floor prisoners. When they wake up, they notice that they are on floor 141. Goreng finds himself tied up. Trimagesi says, moving toward him, "These are the days when the food platform ascends. The platform will be empty when it reaches here because we are on floor 141. You're wondering why I tied you up? Well, listen. I may eat you with the passage of days if I get hungry. Trimagesi appears very wild here. 3 days pass, and Trimagesi is feeling hungry. It is obvious that Goreng is also starving. Everyone's capacity for tolerance varies, and it is influenced by factors such as their level of compassion and kindness. Goreng never thought that he would quench his appetite by cutting off Trimagesi, while Trimagesi had already thought about it. Now, he begins to cut the flesh of Goreng as he feels hunger. Goreng shouts. Then Maharu appears seated on the platform, and she rescues Goreng. Being freed, he kills Trimagesi. Maharu starts to eat the flesh of Trimagesi, and she also asks Goreng to eat it. Now, they eat this flesh for many days, as they had to survive for the whole month in some way. Even though Trimagesi's dead body had worsened and insects had bred in his flesh, Goreng begins to eat it a little to survive. At last, the month passes. It is seen that Goreng wakes up to find that he is on building level 33. This time, his cellmate is a woman, and she has a dog with her. Like Goreng, she also voluntarily came into the prison to learn to share food and experience the circumstances of this prison. Actually, this woman is part of the management team and had interviewed Goreng before his entry into the prison. Then food is delivered, and Goreng fills his stomach, but the woman only serves a little food to her dog and eats nothing so that the prisoners on the lower floors can have more. When the platform descends to the lower floors, the prisoners there devour the food voraciously. The woman asks them, "What is the problem with you? Why don't you leave food for the lower floor prisoners?" But they don't listen to her. One day, Goreng says to them, "I will make all the food filthy if you don't leave any." As a result, the prisoners on the lower floors agree, and they begin to leave some food behind. Consequently, the prisoners on the bottom floors survive by eating it. Later, Maharu arrives on the platform and kills the woman's dog, sparking a dispute between the two women. The woman, whose dog had been killed, says to Goreng, "Maharu is insane. She has no child, and her mental balance has been disturbed since she came here. Don't be entrapped by her." Now, Goreng asks his cellmate why she came here. She explains, "I have cancer. It cannot be cured, and I will soon die." In the same way, another month passes. Goreng's cell number is changed again. It becomes known that the prison has many floors beyond count, not just 100 or 200. Now they are on floor 202. Goreng notices that his cellmate has hanged herself. Here, Goreng begins to suffer from hallucinations, visualizing his cellmate telling him, "I committed suicide, so you can survive by eating my flesh." But Goreng is reluctant to eat her because she was a decent woman and also suffered from cancer. Goreng is extremely hungry because no food was delivered to cell 202. He reluctantly begins to eat the pages of his book, but eventually moves to the dead body of the woman and starts to eat her. Similarly, another month passes. Now he awakens on floor 6. His new cellmate is a man with a rope. He tells Goreng, "I will climb to the top floor and escape using this rope," but it is not easy. Instead of helping, everyone begins to mock him. Goreng stops him and says, "Wait, let's go together on the platform for a few days and distribute the food little by little so that it is left for everyone." They begin to carry out the plan. One day, while they are moving on the platform, they see prisoners trying to kill Maharu. Goreng immediately kills those prisoners and rescues Maharu, but he is also badly injured. Maharu, having already been beaten, dies shortly after. Now, the insane girl, Maharu, is no more. They continue on the platform, which descends further than they had ever thought possible. At the last floor, they find a little girl hidden under a bed. This little girl is none other than Maharu's daughter. They have a little food left because Goreng's cellmate had preserved it. Goreng serves the food to the girl and then continues descending. As they go downward, Goreng's cellmate dies from the wounds he had sustained while rescuing Maharu. Later, it is seen that Goreng also places the little girl on the platform. The platform descends to the very bottom. As Goreng moves downward, he hallucinates and sees Trimagesi, who says to him, "You have passed your trial." It was just Goreng's hallucination. The platform will ascend back, and the little girl will remain here. Most people lose their courage, but look at this little girl. How cute she is. You descended for her, but we were unaware of it. It remains unknown whether Goreng survives in the basement or not, as the building is very complicated and no one knows the exit. The ending of the movie is left unseen. It is hinted that the little girl descends again, and the movie concludes on this scene. It is hoped that you enjoyed the explanation. Thanks for watching.